Welcome back to Palangi 21. Today I will show you a 2020 American drama film directed by Mona Fastvold, titled The World to Come. It stars Katherine Waterston, Vanessa Kirby, Christopher Abbott and Casey Affleck, and follows two neighboring couples battling hardship and isolation in mid-19th century America. In 1856 in Schoharie County, Abigail and Dyer live an isolated life in the country working as farmers. They are both devastated by the recent loss of their young daughter Nellie. One day there is a couple moves in beside them named Finney and Tolly. Abigail watches Tolly from a distance as well as Tolly who watches Abigail. Tolly goes to visit Abigail at her place, and the two women form a quick and deep friendship. Abigail is entranced by Tolly, and cannot take her eyes off her, admiring her beauty. Abigail confides to Tolly that her marriage with Dyer is based on practicality, not romance, while Tolly reveals that her husband Finney can be quarrelsome and controlling. At that moment their hands touch each other. Tolly continues to visit, and they both enjoy their company. For Abigail's birthday Tolly buys her an atlas that she had longed for. Abigail helps Tolly warm her feet in the fireplace. Tolly admits that she is having a hard time having children and maybe this is why her husband hates her. When Tolly is returning home from the birthday visit she is caught in a storm that nearly kills her. Her husband takes her away to recuperate. Abigail hopes Tolly is okay, and she is afraid that Tolly will stop visiting her. Spring arrives, and Tolly continues to visit Abigail. Eventually Tolly reveals to Abigail that she only dreams of being with her. Abigail feels similarly and the two kiss. They begin a sexual affair. Dyer, who has become increasingly emotional since their child's death, is upset of the time that Abigail spends with Tolly. Finney becomes similarly jealous of the hours she is spending away from him. Tolly rarely spends time on the farm, so Finney forbids Tolly to see Abigail. One day, Finney and Tolly come to visit. Abigail is worried, and thinks Tolly was sick because she hadn't visited for days. Finney replies that his wife is sick, then Finney invites Abigail and Dyer for dinner. At dinner, Finney has a gloomy mood where he mentions the death of Abigail's child. When helping Tolly, Abigail notices bruises on Tolly's neck, but Tolly says she fell and doesn't say anything else. Finney tells a morbid story about holding his disobedient dog outside until it froze to death. Afterwards Tolly doesn't visit for a week. Abigail finally goes in search of her and finds her rented house empty with only a bloody kerchief left behind. She suspects that Finney is hurting Tolly, and hopes Dyer to help her find Tolly. Dyer reluctantly helps to locate Tolly. He finds nothing but that their caravan has departed northwest at midnight. One day, Abigail receives a letter from Tolly informing her she has moved 85 miles away to the Skinny Atlas area of Onondaga County. Even though they are separated by distance, Tolly says that she misses Abigail. They reply to each other's letters, although Finney sometimes snatches letters from Abigail out of jealousy. Abigail insists on going to see Tolly, and Dyer can't let his wife go alone, reluctantly complies. However, by the time they arrive Tolly is dead. Finney reveals that Tolly has died from diphtheria, but a flashback reveals Finney holding and dancing with Tolly until she collapsed. Abigail immediately runs inside, and sees Tolly's stiffened body. She cries and lies beside her, reminiscing about their past love affair. After that, Abigail returns to her life on the farm. She and Dyer continue to work together but are still emotionally estranged. Abigail imagines murdering Finney one day. To comfort herself, she tries to picture Nellie and Tolly comforting one another in the afterlife. When Dyer asks her to imagine anything she can do to ease their longing, Abigail begins to imagine Tolly in his place. The film takes place in the countryside with a very good visual landscape. Even though it's winter, but the love between the two is burning brightly. Abigail and Tolly felt each other's warmth and connection from their friendship. They were married, but had a distant emotional connection with their husbands. Abigail and Dyer got married just for the practicality. Meanwhile, Tolly was married to an abusive and controlling Finney. The wives are required to always work and obey their husbands. Independence and intimacy for women is just a dream. Starting from a friendship that listens to each other's stories, their relationship soon becomes a love affair that is tied with their emotions. The main strength of this film is how the director stirs emotions through the depiction that true love doesn't always last forever. From beginning to end, this film is able to capture every emotion that is felt by the two main characters. Their chemistry is natural, and the story is heartwarming. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, and turn on notification.